Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Love and Lunch. So here we go. So we've got about 20 minutes to talk about love, life, and intimacy. And I'm Joanna Keeble. I'm founder and coach at BigBeautifulBoundaries.com. That's one-to-one coaching and my new online course, Big Beautiful Boundaries. And you can also find my free Facebook group called Big Beautiful Boundary Builders, or contact me for any of that good stuff. And this is my mate Jo. Take it away.
Amazing. Yes, I'm Jo Cooper. I am a coach as well, and yeah, I've got a really amazing, live, pumping, beautiful space. I support women, actually. I really love this space. It's a free Facebook group. So if there's any women out there who would like to join and get some support around their dating, intimacy, or relationship lives, then come into my Facebook group that I'll post towards the end. But yeah, I really support women to identify what they want, how to get it, well, how to magnetize everything that they want in their relationships. So yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, I've just done a live actually in that group, so if you're super interested and want to see that live, then please come over. And yeah, you can also have a look for me on Instagram as well if you want to see some bits of my work.
Awesome. So today I'm so off duty today. I'm loving it. Like, I'm so leaning into this slowness that my body wants right now. So you're getting I feel like you're getting the really off-duty version of me, so everyone can enjoy that. So what do we want to talk about? I think something that Jo and I have been chatting about just before we started filming, and something that we're both feeling right now, is the amount of stuff that's going on in the world, and the amount of intense change and trauma and just shit to deal with that has come up this year. I'm feeling it because of the US election, and we've just got like a second UK lockdown. And yeah, the way that all of these sort of global events or national events are impacting our interpersonal relationships, right? And it can bring a lot of tension into your sort of family, friendships, and romantic relationships. I'm feeling it, you know.
Tell me about it. I feel like there's a fuse going off like quite regularly in my system, and for me it's around like how to regulate my energetic system so it actually doesn't blow up. There's some kind of consistency, healing, the approval to be with that and to recognize and to be in a support group where, like, I think my coach, I was resentful about something, but you know what, fuck, I just said it. I said the thing, she held space for me, and it's just for me around knowing that my energetic system can be quite fiery at times, especially depending where I am in my cycle as well. And it was just, normally I'm quite slow before my cycle, and for some reason, like last week, I was feeling quite fiery. I was feeling very, very fiery, and she just held space for me right there in that moment. And I think that was just like, you know, quite empowering actually, to be felt like I was seen, to be not judged, and to be able to know how to come into like a place of like balance, so I could have the tools in order to create some kind of nutrient, some kind of juice, some kind of lubricant inside of me, so I didn't feel like I was kind of going off and I didn't know how to come back in again. Because for me, when I'm in that state, it's like fear kicks in, because it almost feels like out of control. So it's just like if fear's kicking in at a level where it feels in a state of like overwhelm, and it's just like, okay, what do I need to do? How do I keep my own back in this and start to take responsibility, so I can come back a place where I'm actually having conversations with people where I'm not just in a place of like, I feel like I'm fighting with stuff, because when we're fighting, nothing fucking happens.
Mm. It's kind of the image, my mind's very visual, right? And so I'm getting an image right now of like a stressed out mum, like holding 5 kids, and you're trying to talk to her at the same time, and she's just like the amount of bandwidth that someone has when they're already dealing with the whole world, right? So if you're taking on that much stuff, which we all are right now, I don't care if you're at home, if you got furloughed or whatever, we're carrying all of this stuff. Actually being at home can be worse sometimes because you've got no distraction from your sort of fears or worries and from the fear mongering of the news. And there's also a lot less digestion through movement. So digestion is a big word for me at the moment. And I'm thinking about like what you're describing of like filling up and then like having nowhere left to go until it's just like it just explodes. And yeah, and that's it. It's like if we don't actually take responsibility for how full of crap we've got this year and do something to move all that, then we get to carry on feeling terrified and disconnected. And that's when it just becomes a lot of anxiety and a lot of confusion and self-doubt. This place where you're full of stuff, you're not digesting what's happening to you, which can be positive stuff too. But this year, let's face it, there's been a lot of negative stuff to deal with, a lot of really high stress situations, and a lot of situations where what we had planned was sort of denied us. There's a feeling of I've had something taken away from me.
Totally, like lack of freedom.
Yes.
You know, this place of like, you know, and it's quite beautiful in one sense, because we're being asked at the moment to almost create a different type of freedom. And I was thinking about this the other day, and I was just like, oh, actually, you know, we have actually, for the first time in a while, got access to the down without a lot of noise. You know, being willing to go down and to feel, because there isn't a lot of distraction. And I think when you are not used to going down and to having those feelings of like feeling sad or irritated or anxiety and just wanting to like numb out on those feelings by going to the pub on a Friday night after work or whatever the thing is. And it's just like there's been something that's being asked of us in the world right now to level up in that place. And you know what? Super powerful, like to be with those uncomfortable feelings, to hydrate and fully nourish yourself in that place, and to be surrounded with people that you can be authentic, you can be yourself. And I love what you said. There was that word. What was the word that you just said that around what was the word that you just said?
Digestion.
Digest. Yeah, so digestion in the down, this is it. So digestion in the down, and for me has almost once seen life abundantly. Like, you know, for example, there's lots of stars in the sky. I'm walking outside, like feeling quite abundant that there's a lot of like greenness around and that I can just be still for a period of time. I'm starting to really come to a place of like solitude and feeling abundant about that there's not so much noise around. Like I don't feel like I have to be going to X, Y, and Z. And there's something about the depth and the deliciousness in that digestion that starts to change things and gives you access to a deeper level of freedom. But there's kind of like there's like a deep surrender and transitioning in that you have to let go to everything that you're doing before. You absolutely have to say that was working then, it's not working now. And
that was then, isn't it?
That was then. You have to admit that. You have to totally admit that and being like, can I just be here right at this moment in time basically just know that what was working then is not going to be the thing that's working now. And it's just like, if you have permission for yourself, the people that you're going to start be surrounded by, people that, you know, they are going to help to mirror that level of, you know, that rising up inside of you, that beauty, that thing that you're meant to be, that's going to help you align to, like, you know, your purpose, and feel okay in that space. And so I feel like I've just talked a lot in lots of different realms here, and I feel like if anyone's got any questions around this, then you know that you can speak to either Joanna or I afterwards. But yeah, when I'm on a roll, I find it a little bit difficult to stop. But yeah, I think I'll leave it there just to take a bit of a breathing space.
Okay. You know what's interesting is you talking about purpose. Purpose is traditionally a trigger word for me, because we hear so much about like finding your purpose or your one true purpose or getting aligned, and it sounds so coachy. And then in what I found myself doing in the last few months is really coming into alignment with my purpose. And I'm like, oh, this is what they're talking about. Like, so this is exactly what happened to me, right? I got my coaching certification a few years ago. I've always been really passionate about personal development. My mum's a therapist. It's always been there, and I wasn't quite sure how to make it feel authentic. And I got my certification. I did all my hours, and I sort of hit a huge number of hours in a short period of time. And then I realized how much work I have to do on me to sort of get to the next level. And I went back in and did all this, just to put attention on myself. And I went back to working a regular 9 to 5. And what happened in lockdown is that was taken away from me. I had just started working at a new temp role at a really exciting multinational media company. It was great money, and it was a great setup, and they were excellent, and they sent me home because they have a great setup on the second day with all the equipment, and I was just like, this company rocks. And then, you know, I had some time on furlough, and then they let me go. And that's when I remembered that I'm a coach. And that's when this desire, like, I was thinking, God, are we ever going to do those workshops? I really wanted to do workshops about consent, and I really wanted to help people work with their empowerment and boundaries. And it took me a while. It took quite a while for me to notice the opportunity of lockdown for me. So I'm going to say, like, it can take a good while. And we're not all going to have the same experience of lockdown. So I'm not going to say everyone should have a revelation. But what it did do is it pushed me back towards my purpose, like what I want to contribute to the world, how I want to show up, what integrity looks like for me, what feels important in the world. And the handling of COVID and Black Lives Matter and all that, it all feels like the same thing. It's all kind of a call to more connection. Oh God, an opportunity for surrender. Yes, like there's a fight there. We should absolutely push for what's right. And yeah, there's resentment about being done to, but that's not really where our power is. There's a lot of power there in, well, the first bit is that thing of getting present, coming back to, and you said something earlier that was great. Can I be here? Can I be? And this goes back to something we said last week about people kind of waiting for life to get better before you give yourself permission to feel good. And it's like, honey, I get it, and just don't wait. We can't afford to wait. Life is short and it's complicated, and can you dare to let yourself feel good now? Can you give yourself some way, some nourishment right here?
I love a couple of words that have really sprung up for me actually is around, like, if you are able to be present with what is, then the opportunity is huge. And yeah, everybody's having their own experience, you know, of course. I truly believe everyone is having their own experience, but it's like, when we can really be present with our own truth
Mm.
and be in alignment with that and set the truth free, then what is actually possible? What is the opportunity in that space? And that's the most important thing to keep our eyes open to. Our eyes, our mind, our heart, our pussy, like everything. And it's like being in that truth and being willing to say it, being willing to own it, and being able to have a relationship with it. If you're not having a relationship with your own truth right now, then what is that actually doing for you?
Well, one of the things it's going to be doing is it's going to have people feeling really crap, because you're sort of like, you know,
Totally.
get in alignment with your truth. And I suspect there's a lot of people who are still in that place where it just feels like fear or anger. And it's the same thing, right? Truth is sort of the way out of that.
Totally,
So
totally.
you know, I'm feeling it. There's a lot going on, and I'm feeling scratchy, and there's some irritation in one of my friendships. Like we had a big kind of blow up, and I've been feeling quite pushed by her, and I've had to put in some really intense boundaries. And so there's this feeling of disconnection. I'm aware that this is very likely because of the sort of microscope of COVID. It kind of puts everything, it kind of magnifies everything. Right? So while we're talking about digestion, just to give people something there, like what do you do with all these feelings that you feel when you can't escape them? You can't get down the pub, or you can't go and dance the night away, or you can't just go to work as you normally would. There's going to be some feelings there. So the first thing is, it's got to be okay to feel them. But one fun way that I'm going to handle it is I've decided I want to have a resentment bonfire.
I
Now,
love that.
It's not going to be a big grand thing. There's a bit of patio out there. There's a metal bowl, and I'm going to write down loads of really shitty phrases about situations and people, and I'm going to burn it. And that's just me designing my own thing. It feels like
That's
something is a move,
beautiful.
and that's what feels like intuitively what I want to do.
Yeah, for me, I love that. I love doing some writing about my fears and how to alchemize them. It really helps me to move through my fears when I can see them, when I look at where they've come from and how I actually alchemize them, and I can pop them quite quickly, because it's an illusion. All fear is an illusion, actually. I was reading about them today, but yeah, and another thing is like gratitude, so powerful, but it's such such a great digestion tool, because when you're feeling okay with what is right now, it's a way to access being present and just being like, oh, you know, come into a place of acceptance and love. And I think that's massive for part of digestion is actually gratitude, because when we're grateful for things and we can love things and, you know, give thanks to it, we can actually welcome a lot more in. So it's an amazing practice. Just to let you know, we've got 1 minute left before 1:20.
Cool. Well, I'll say one more thing, which is so where I'm at right now, you're absolutely right. Gratitude is like, if you can find things to be grateful about. If you're where I am, like I am grateful for so many things, and I take time to just savor the little moments of like, oh, that coffee, and like receive it as love, or this water, there's an opportunity. But if you can't access it, go to the resentment, go to the anger, and fucking enjoy it, right? Have that. And then when you've had a bit of that and you're just like, then you might find the gratitude more accessible.
Totally amazing. Yeah, I love everything. I've loved this conversation so much. It's so juicy and it's just where it is right now. I have, for those people who are listening, or if you're watching the replay, then hashtag replay, we'd love to hear from you. If you've got any questions on this topic, please let either Joanna or I know. You can message us separately or put it in the comments box. We're really open to connecting with you. I'm sure Joanna will mention how you can keep in contact with her afterwards. I've put in my Facebook group into the link below. I have just hosted a masterclass actually that you can watch the replay of. I've just done a catch up of that, which I thought was going to be about 10 minutes, but it's actually half an hour, but loads of amazing content. It gives you all the great points around how to have the melt experience in your life and relationships, how to be fully magnetic so things can start to happen and change, so things can happen for you. So I'm really excited to be able to share that with you. So yeah, the details are in the comments below.
Nice.
Joanna.
Right. Yeah, if anyone wants to know more about me and what I'm doing, you can ping me a message. You can always send me a message. I even check the hidden message requests, so you'll always find me that way. You can check out my upcoming course at bigbeautifulboundaries.com, online course. I have a free Facebook group, Big Beautiful Boundary Builders, if you want to come in and unpick a bit of conditioning and get a bit of connection and confidence and ask questions or share what you want to share. And I've got a workshop coming up that I'm putting together with my partner Daniel. He's awesome, and together we are putting together the Yes and No workshop. I'm changing the date. I'm gonna follow my flow here, but that's coming up soon, so you can sign up for that at my website, bigbeautifulboundaries.com, or ping me a message for more info. That's me.
Amazing. All right, lovelies. We are going to go. We'll see you all next Tuesday, same time, same place. Yeah, sending you so much love, and let us know if you have any thoughts or questions. Bye.